All right, so cell holders. Number one, not a great idea to use these or these to make a power wall. It's just not safe. Spot welding is so much more simple. You can get 2P nickel for 10-meter roll is like 20, 30 bucks. You can get a spot welder for under 100. There's great ones for $50 to $70 that will spot weld 0.15. Oh, battery hookup has a 2 supercapacitors in series spot welder. They claim it does 0.3. I don't know if that's pure nickel or nickel plated steel. It's 80 bucks, I believe. Looks like a great deal. So there's no reason not to spot weld. If you're thinking, oh, well, then I can pull the cells out, that's a terrible excuse. If you're having to replace cells from your pack that frequently, then you're using cells you shouldn't be using. What's the difference between these? Why are these typically more expensive? I like these. These are okay, but it's the resistance. This is apparently gold-plated steel, and the newer ones that have a different leaf design, like spring leaf, are nickel-plated steel, I think. Haven't tried them yet. Yeah. These short leads, man. $28.9, roughly. Well, let's do it backwards. These are all roughly the same internal resistance, about 28.5-ish, a little more. Okay, so if we go from the top of the contact to the top, we get 2019 really changes a lot. Let's try another one. There we go. This is the consistent number I get, 17.5. Why is it lower? 4 cells in parallel. So you're going to divide 28 by 4. So it's about 7 milliohms for just the cells. That means we're getting an extra 10 on these connections for the springs. Try to go in here. $16.9. And if I try to get the edges of it here, just 16.5. And this I think is 12 gauge solid copper wire. So, I mean, the resistance in this is very, very little. Let's go for most of the length. Okay, let's go for half the length. We're getting like 0.2 milliohms. It's hard to get that to stay. Okay, so getting an extra 9 milliohms with this holder. This one I have used some. The springs are a little bit worn. Doesn't seem to make a huge difference, but this 2-cell holder that I'm going to test in a minute, I have not really used at all. Cleaned it with 99% alcohol, ISO, not the stuff you drink. 33, so from 27 to 33. And if we go at the top, or sorry, 28.5 to 33. 31.5, so 3 milliohms. 2.5 milliohms, 3 milliohms versus 9. And this one's in there pretty good. Okay, make sure that's in there. Oh, you guys can actually read that, okay. From the far side, like the furthest point away, these are the SMD, meaning that these are surface mount, like a surface mount resistor or something. Man, this is not giving me a straight number. The number isn't 50. Really? I have not really done it this far out. That's not right. Let's try from the top. $35. It's about 7 higher. That brings it to about 10. I think 39 is going to be kind of our consistent number. Because that's the cell itself. Let's flip this over. This side's positive. This stuff is not good. $33, $32. There's a bunch of oxidation on the bottom of this. That might be why. Whereas this one is very clean. Now here's a little difference. Sid Blossom Electronics. This one, although it has it on the bottom, this one has it on the top. The material seems to be slightly different in person. You can kind of tell this is like a grayer. And these contacts just have not held up well. These were purchased roughly the same time a year ago. I don't believe there's a BLM signal or symbol on here. And also you'll see that the these little pins that are apparently supposed to help in mounting it, your PCB should have a spot for it. This is not like rounded off at the top, and this is more rounded off. Oh yeah, these have the A on them too. These have nothing. These I all bought on Amazon. Maybe in the description I'll put links. But yeah, this one, 3.5 milliohms, you know, from really anywhere. Really seems to be good contact material overall. Or at least it might be the gold plating that's good. This gold plating might be terrible. I don't know. They're all about 0.3. Wish I had better calipers. 0.3. If I squeeze hard, it goes down to 0.2. .3, squeeze, 0.2. I wasn't sure how I was going to test these. I'd have to take one apart. Let me show you guys the other type that I don't like, really don't like. We've also got some other varieties too. So you've got ones that are cut out here and ones that aren't. So these are the cutout on top. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. Square cutout here, rounded here. Straight walls here, cutout walls here. I prefer these. So take a good look at the picture. And I'm gonna say I prefer these better. That says, I don't even know. Feiben. F-E-I-B-E-N. The other one says Bellamu. Both have the holes for mounting. This one got burned by soldering iron. When you get these, the contacts are really, really stiff, and you'll see I bent these down with the pliers real quick. But if you're going to absolutely want to use these in a Powerwall situation or something, or a permanent, I'm putting my cells in here and running my pack that way, don't do this. Yes, is this a fit? I mean, you got like 64 millimeters to shove in a 65 millimeter cell. Shove the bitch in there. Because this is like 64 and a half for 65 millimeters cell. It fits. It's snug. It's not snug enough. contact resistance is huge. Will it come out? No, not easily. Actually, I have a tool for this. This is for trim in a car. I don't like it when I see people using knives and stuff. I'm like, why are you using a metallic object? Sometimes these do kind of tear up the shrink wrap on the bottom. The springs do. Whereas if we try to go on this side, where I have not compressed the springs at all, that's a snap. The cell, it is not going anywhere. It does take a bit of force to rotate it too. Just out of curiosity, let's test this. Is this the, no, this is the Bellamu. The one I don't like as much. So 28.5. Let's see what we get now. $36.5. About the same. That's on the uncompressed springs that I never messed with. I don't think there was ever even a cell on that side. And let's go in the side that I have messed with, see if it makes a difference. Or actually, that might, have any of these been messed with? Maybe I have not messed with any of these. This just looks a little more pushed in, but I don't think I've used this one at all. It just got burnt. See, I don't think I've used that one at all. This is the Feiben, which is the same as this. I did like solder to one of these. These are done decently easy to solder to. Have I used this one? I'm gonna say yes. There's some marks on here that look like they're from pliers. Let's try it. I have not cleaned these with rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that was easy to snap in. So the Bellamu might have better contacts slightly. Or it's just because they've never been touched and are cleaner. I don't know. Not a huge difference, 2 milliohms. That's pretty tight. That's what your mom said. No way. $33, wow. That's really good. It's 5 milliohms higher. That's almost equivalent to one of these. So yeah, definitely, if you can find 5-in ones, they're pretty good. Just keep the contacts clean. Rubbing alcohol, 99%. Don't settle for 90. Just buy a big bottle of it on Amazon. As long as you buy at least like a liter or something, it's cheap and it'll last you a while. I do not like these. I do like how this curves around and really keeps the cell well protected, but springs, flat top 18650s, no. Couple reasons. If this were a bunch of cells, especially like those power banks that have like 3 layers of cells stacked on top of each other and have springs, no, 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 and no, that is not safe. These springs also probably would burn up, I don't know, 10, 15 amps. If you ran a lot of current through these, they would not hold their shape at all. They'd collapse. Also, I'm assuming that's brass. That's just a wire leading to the next one because these are in series. The wire that's on here is garbanzo beans. Terrible, definitely replace this stuff right away. But the problem is, it's not easy to solder to this. And they've taken the wire and wrapped it and then like done the rivety kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. These are convenient when you just quick need to put together a 3S. They got them in 4S, they got them in 2S. I don't know if they have them in parallel. But when you just quick need a low current 3S battery or something, throw 3 cells in here. You can use this wire, you know, if it's really low current and you don't mind the voltage drop. Or you can try to put new wire on here. It works. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about charging them because you can pop them out. They're no longer in series. Throw them in your charger, charge them in parallel. And let me see. Yeah, how does this look? This is pretty clean too. I don't know if this has ever even been used. Slippery. 31, yeah. 2.5 milligrams higher than normal. Let's go from the bottom. 33. That's not right. Yep, 33. So yeah, let's see. Feiben. I prefer these just for minor reasons. Bellaloo, where are you? I don't know where I put that one. Bellaloo. Good contacts. Just, I don't like the high wall here. I don't like the material. It's stiffer. This has some give to it a little bit, and this feels stiff in the brittle way. These pins, although, look to be the same, roughly. Although the Bellaloo kind of have a rounded top, and the Feiben, they kind of square off. Hard to see. But yeah, if you go on AliExpress, you can get these for about $1.50. You know, once you include shipping, if you buy some quantity, at least 10, you can get these for about $1.50 each. Maybe a little less for the 18650s. They got 18650, 21700, 26650, all of them. So yeah, there you go. That's how you pick cell holders. If you need to buy a lot of them, I would buy a small order from someone, kind of look at the markings to see what they are. If you don't have a meter like this, then I would suggest doing some voltage drop testing by soldering wires to it and trying to draw a large load and see the difference in the voltage drop between like this one and this one. These should be really similar because, you know, the contacts are roughly the same. So 20 amp draw on a cell should drop it to 3.6 on this one and 3.6 on this one. But if you were to put it in a rig, I have one of the ZKE Tech ones that has like almost no resistance and a 4-wire tester, you know, it might only drop to 365, less resistance. And this one might only drop to 362 because it is slightly less resistance than these, but not perfect. You know, it has a little bit of resistance. So there you guys go. Have a nice life.